Hey, what's up everybody? Rod J back again. Decided to do a little bit of a video tonight. So, actually going to take a look at one from Braxton Labs. This is actually a crowler of their double vanilla milkshake IPA. So, I picked this up Saturday. This was actually released at the brewery Friday. So it was released on the 6th. Today is the 8th. I'm sorry. It was released on the 8th. Today is the 10th. So this is actually only 2 days old. It was just tapped on Friday as a release. And Braxton Labs does some pretty good stuff here in Northern Kentucky at their brewery. Braxton Labs is actually the small batch processing arm of Braxton Brewing, which now they have 3 locations throughout Northern Kentucky. So it's awesome. Very easy ways to get a hold of their beer. This is when I noticed they were coming out with last week when I received their information. What's up, Todd? And cheers, Alan. And I decided to swing by the brewery and pick it up on Saturday after I did the other stuff on the beer run. So if you saw the unboxing, you saw me actually talk about that for a little bit there. So nice 32-ounce crowler, which for this one, I'm going to be using my Braxton, get this, milkshake glass, right? So this is one where they somewhat team up with graders. If you watch the Beer Patrol and Joe, he actually did a video from their key lime pie. They do a lot of their stuff in glasses like this, so that's Graders, the ice cream company they team up with. This one, nothing to do with Graders, but was better than the Milkshake IPA than a Milkshake beer glass. Let's get this baby open, get it poured. And Alan and Todd, hopefully you guys are having a great weekend before we go back to the grind tomorrow. And if you guys haven't checked out Alan's updated channel, the Eclectic Beard, make sure you swing by there, pay him a visit as well. And Tuesday nights, for those of you that don't know, we talk college football, and another weekend in the books of predicting a correct upset. So there you go. So a nice pour on the beer here. It's got a nice orange creamsicle type color to the beer. Head is about a finger head that I put on it as well. Cheers, Blake. Happy Sunday, my friend. Kind of a little bit of a billywiness with the head itself. Could have probably put a little bit more on there, but that's all right. Yes, sir. Hate to see it end already. Yeah, I know, right? Not ready for Monday tomorrow, but it is what it is. You talk about the freshness, 2 days old. Get the nice aroma coming off the beer, where you're getting hit with some of that dankness of it being an IPA, but you're also getting a nice little bit of sweetness in there. Definitely pick up some of the lactose. Head coach, what's up, brother? Cheers. Always appreciate the video. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Always appreciate you getting in here. And then Blake TV, if you guys aren't familiar with Blake TV, make sure you check him out as well. Of course, he has the Friday Night Throwdowns, and he's also over on the Eclectic Beer when we talk football on Tuesday nights. But you get a kind of hop notes, which everybody kind of knows about now. A little bit of a dankness, a little bit of a resiness. It all comes through with a nice feel on it. You're picking up a little bit of a fruitiness in there as well, coming off of the notes. Donner Pass Whiskey, what's up? Cheers, my friend. Another great channel to pick up and check out. And it's got a little bit of that, and it only works like really with craft beer and IPAs, a little bit of that mustiness type feel, which anything outside of beer is kind of like the last thing you want to smell, but with like some of these fresh IPAs, that's what comes through. Get the taste. Oh. Ooh. That's pretty smooth. I didn't mention, but this is also 7% ABV. Hey, what's up, Eric? Cheers, my friend. Eric, a Lions fan. Another great channel for you guys to check out there as well. Give me one shout out for head coach Cabry and Laney, my kids. There you go. There you go. Shout out to Cabry and Laney. Got White Zombie playing in the background. Eric's cutting loose on a Sunday night. You get a nice positioning of the vanilla in the beer here. You easily pick up the feel of the lactose. Got a nice creaminess in the texture. Almost has a little bit of a creamsicle in the taste as well. You pick up some of that orange in there and the flavor. Nice citrus feel to it. A very easy beer if you wanted to chug this. The freshness of the hops, you feel a little bit of that tickling in the throat, a little bit of that itchy type feel as you're drinking the beer. Good amount of flavor left in the cheeks, really drawing out some of the vanilla. Not too dry on the back end, a nice juiciness to the beer. Or dare I say, moist. It's on par with what Braxton Labs actually does. Hey, Michelle, cheers, welcome. There's Sparkle Supreme Queen, another channel you can check out. It's got what you would expect to get in a New England style IPA. That juicy feel, that nice amount of flavor. You could almost drink it like a juice with breakfast. And just overall, it's pretty solid and decent. You do have that haziness on the beer as well. It's got that creamsicle feel though to it, which I like. Like those old creamsicles with popsicle sticks. That's a decent beer. If you ever get a chance to pick up any of the Braxton stuff, I definitely recommend it. If you're down in the Cincinnati area, definitely recommend a stop. If you can, if you're going to see some breweries, put Braxton Labs or Braxton Brewing on your list. Hey, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. This is the I'm crafty every... I forgot what I wrote on this. This was the first shirt I actually put out when I started doing this stuff with the t-shirts. I'm crafty all day, every day, 24/7. So on the website is the I'm crafty t-shirt. And I actually got the idea because I was listening to a Beastie Boys song that day, She's Crafty, and it's like, I should put something on a shirt kind of reminiscent of that. So, but anyway, that's where the idea came from. If again, if you like New England IPAs, I would definitely say check this one out. This is not one they actually had when Eric and Todd, when you guys were here with Joe. They actually had some offshoots of this one. I didn't get the other ones because one was a raspberry vanilla, and the raspberry vanilla you had to drink there, so you couldn't get a crowler of that one. They also, although cover your ears, Eric, they do have a coconut vanilla as well. But that one wasn't out this time when they released this. So, nice beer. Hey, what's happening, Lumpy Dog? Thank you. Cheers. And thank you, Trish. Keep sipping. Oh, a little bit of a raid action. All right. Well, appreciate you guys coming through in a little bit of a raid there. I decided to do a review before I... What's up, Brandon? Cheers. Craft Beer Pours. If you guys haven't seen Keep Sipping or Craft Beer Pours, another couple good channels to check out, of course, in the beer game. Craft Beer Pours is actually on the list with myself that came out from FeeSpot. It's one of the top 30 beer tubers on YouTube. So, which still not sure how I got on that list, but you know, any publicity is good publicity. So, but easily refill this up. And Eric says, if you don't know, Eric is not the biggest fan of coconut. So anybody doesn't know Eric from the channel, he just doesn't like coconut. But if you ever wanted to have like a vanilla creamsicle in a glass, this beer does that for you. What's up, then, Middle Fruit? Cheers. Trish will get you doing all kinds of things out there. You gotta be careful with her. Yeah, that's pretty solid. So I'm going to finish enjoying this. I'm actually into the lower third of the can right now, so I'm actually drinking it pretty quickly. I'm going to keep my wits about me a little bit as I watch The Walking Dead here in a little bit. What's up, Jesse? Bumpy Road Brewery in the house. What's going on, my friend? Bumpy Road's another channel you can check out for some good beer stuff taking place. And he also does some brewing there as well. Hey, Lumpy Dog, I just turned 21 30 years ago. Cheers to that. I'll be doing that in March of next year. I'll have to see what your channel is there, Lumpy Dog. And I'm actually glad I stopped by to pick up this crowler. I think for me, on how I'm gonna, as far as a personal rate, I could drink this pretty much all day, any day. So it's got a nice solid feel to it. I think of some of the other ones I've had that have been kind of this style, and it's kind of up there. I'm going to put this on Untapped as a 4.25. I would say really it's probably closer to a 4.35 maybe or so, or 4.4, but I'll just put 4.25 just because you can only rate in quarters on Untapped. Again, that's just my personal rating there. So let me see. Eric says, Trish, we're going to have to ask you to settle down. Coach says, don't judge me if I'm getting faded with you. Happy birthday, Marine Corps. And Alex, what's happening? He says, what am I drinking? Well, I'm actually drinking the double vanilla milkshake IPA from Braxton Brewing, Alex. And Beerhound's in the house. What's happening, Beerhound? Cheers. And another good beer channel to check out. I'm actually going to try to catch some of your videos here in a little bit, Beerhound. I know you put a few out there, and I might try to catch one before The Walking Dead starts, and then some afterwards when I'm relaxing before I go to sleep for tomorrow. Been meaning to catch up on your videos as well. And if you haven't been to Beerhound's channel, make sure you check him out as well. And then Trish says, haha, Eric, really? Eric's playing, he's jamming out his house right now, so he's got some stuff happening. Jesse said, just created a recipe to brew a pineapple IPA. I know how you love pineapple, Rod. I'm going to call it Magnum P-I Neapple. Playing a Magnum with the P-I in there. That's pretty cute. That's a nice, well-played, thought-out move there, Bumpy. That sounds like, hopefully it'll be a winner for you. Lumpy is actually Fish Farm, but he's a great supporter. Okay. I've got some other people that I usually watch and have on the channel too that are subscribers that also do the fish. Which reminds me, I haven't watched Rob's Aquatics in a while. I gotta check his stuff out again because I know he's all about the fish in there too. Alex, it is pretty good, my friend. If you like milkshake IPAs, this one is definitely it. This might bring all the boys in the yard, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I got on that beer there. And what's everybody else drinking tonight? What's everybody else got going on while I'm on here on this fabulous live stream on a Sunday night? Anybody else knocking some stuff out? Some people about to watch the football game probably. I think the Cowboys are playing. I know, Eric, you did a video about your Lions, Earl. I haven't watched it, but I guess they took an L today. I know Todd said his Colts lost as well. Back to base. Cheers, Rod. Cheers, Trish. Thanks for swinging by and bringing the people over. Appreciate it. Good channel there. Keep Sipping and Craft Beer Pours, which is, well, it started out under Brandon, but both of those do it now. Two good channels to check out. Gravitational Attraction, BBA, Marshmallow Stout, 14.5. Oh, Nighty Night. Eric's about to go Nighty Night. That sounds like a decent one as well. I'm looking forward to trying that Mad Tree S'more one I got, but I got to start the Baptist series. So I think I'm going to start with the 2018s that I have on hand and then go to the 2019. But I think I'm going to choose a day each week, make it like Big Bad whatever day, and I'm going to do Big Bad Baptist series on that day. I haven't decided which day to do, but it will start this week. So keep an eye out for that. And during the week, I'm still going to be broadcasting somewhere around this time, like 8:30, 9:15, somewhere in there, to do the live streams. That seems to work out well for when I get the time to do it. Beerhound, a Nova Brazil Ipinema DIPA. Huh, I haven't heard of that one. Is that out of Brazil then? I haven't had any beers out of Brazil. Or is Nova Brazil just the name of the brewery? Alan said, just finished a Westbrook Grandma's Apple Pie Goza. Westbrook does some good stuff. I bet that was a decent tasting beer for sure. Lumpy said, who's got the Lions? Eric, a Lions fan. He's a Lions fan. Bumpy said, I got a fall Saison brewed by Shill and Beer Company. Nice. And then Todd to Eric, go big or go home. LOL, nice about the beer he's drinking. And Eric says, "A Lumpy Dog, me, they are a dumpster fire." Lumpy Dog says, "I've been in the greater Detroit area my whole life. One playoff win." Yeah, that was the one with Barry back in the 90s. I mean, yeah. So you guys are both there in Michigan. How you gonna hashtag the Lions like that, Eric? Isn't that Gilbert's job when he comes in to do that? Mr. Green Bay Packer Eric Gilbert. I think it's called Very Tasty. Has some interesting hop notes. I think it's Cali. Sorry, it says I've read the thing wrong. Okay, so it is Cali. That's just the name of the brewery. So. What are you getting like with the hop notes that you're having there, Beerhound? You said it's interesting. Is it kind of like more piney, or is it still got the fruitiness there? East Coast, West Coast? It is, but they are a mess right now. Yeah, well, I mean, it is the Lions, though. The Lions being a mess and Cleveland being a mess are kind of like two things you expect each year, it seems. I didn't realize tonight I have the TV on. Hey, thanks, Lumpy Dog. Appreciate the sub there, my friend. Look forward to having you on here, and hopefully you definitely enjoy things as you're here. And look forward to seeing you around some more here in the future. There is. Let's look for something here. Bubblegum. Piney, earthy spices. That is weird in the IPA for the bubblegum flavor. Is it still like pretty good in the date and everything? Usually you don't get that. West Coast mouthfeel, especially silky smooth. Interesting. I would say the same if that's the case on what they have there. Anybody else not feel like working tomorrow? I know Todd said so. Less than a month old? Okay, so I guess it's what they're going for then. It's just weird because you don't usually have bubblegum when you're in something like that. That's not like one of the styles that would have like kind of feel. But they could have been going for something different with it too. So I guess in that regard, maybe that's why it's actually showing up that way. Oh, groovy looking can. All right. See if I can find a thing on that. Go back up here. Nova Brazil. Let's see if I can. Yeah, they're actually out of Southern Cal, is what it says on the computer here. And then that one, Ipanema Double IPA. Oh wow, their cans are pretty colorful. They definitely got the Brazil type feel. It's a nice appeal to it. And the one you're drinking, 8.3% ABV. It actually says 2017 World Beer Awards design. Nice color scale. I mean, they are pretty much as close, it looks like, down there on the border as they have the star where they're at down in the bottom of California. So not too far off the border there to Mexico. A nice brew indeed. Wonder what their distribution is. Worth checking out if you can. So far from your experience, all right. Yeah, if that's something that comes out this way, I'll definitely take a look at checking it out for sure. Jesse has some Modern Times collab with Pizza Port Hazy IPA. It's a miss, but still drinkable. I haven't picked up too much of the Modern Times that we have them available now. I actually saw some this past weekend by other beers that were on my mind, but I'm going to have to try them at some point on their beers. Todd with the hashtag FMondays. Todd, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, except for Thursday night. Thursday night beer flows, baby. Always looking forward to that. Yeah, Thursday night we do the beer flow. Cheers, Rod. Got to put the kiddo to bed. Sounds like a great beer. Enjoy the Walking Dead night. Thanks, brother. And I will talk to you soon, Alan. And yeah, a nice beer from Braxton. I'd like to get some Treehouse Hazy IPA. Yeah, only thing is you got to like kind of get there to get it. You're like on the other coast. But sometimes people, the different chats, they might be able to connect, maybe do some beer mails or something too. I saw kind of one of the craziest beers I think I've seen yesterday that I've seen thus far in the craft beer world. And Todd, you would know this because you're only a couple hours from me, but Cincinnati and Skyline and the Chili and all that kind of stuff. So Listerman, one of our breweries here, Solid Brewery, apparently did a collab where they actually made a beer. It's the Cincinnati Stout, and it uses like Skyline chili and spaghetti or something in the fermentation. And I'm like, when does craft beer go too far? Like, when you're starting to throw stuff in there like spaghetti and chili, it's like, I don't even know how you put that, where you put that in the process, but I didn't get that beer. I held it, I looked at it, I just like, I can't even try this one right now. This is like a bad drunk night that someone came up with this idea. But I know your brother Todd gets some of the Listerman stuff. But yeah, it's a Cincinnati Stout, and it's got supposedly it was fermented using some of the Cincinnati chili and spaghetti. That's when craft brewing gets a little bizarre at points. Very weird, right? Very weird. I don't even know how you come up with that strategy for it. Let me see if I can pull it up here, actually, and I'll share it with you guys. Just gotta see if I can locate it real quick. Alright, where's this baby at? I'm gonna pull it up here because it only has like the line anyway. But the Cincinnati style stout, imperial pastry stout made with chocolate, spices, and spaghetti. So I guess they didn't put the chili in there, but it's got the spaghetti in there. Just weird, spaghetti in there. And in the chili here in Cincinnati, they do use chocolate in the chili as well, along with the different spices. I thought it said on the can it had chili, but maybe I was just off on that then. But just spaghetti in beer, I just feel like you're at a level at that point that's just like, what are we doing over here? Well, I don't know, very intriguing. I don't know if that's the I word I would have used, but intriguing or interesting, I guess either one could actually fit there for sure. Yeah, Bumpy, I mean, we can always look at something as well for a beer trade or something like that, everything. I mean, you're right up there in the New England area, so I know you got some solid beers too. Right, Beer Hound? Like, Spaghetti, not sure about that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like sometimes when people are coming up with stuff, it's like you wonder if they went a bridge too far. But I don't know how well it's been selling. It was on the shelf when I was there, but it wasn't like some hadn't been sold. But it was just a weird looking thing to see that there. Either or, yeah. Interesting or intriguing. Yeah, so that's just some of the craziness in the craft beer world. I mean, I literally may choose a shandy before I would drink that. And you know how I feel about shandies. Finally got a chance to wrap up Peaky Blinders tonight. I was happy about that. Another solid season. Although their seasons are like 5 episodes, but another cliffhanger going into next year, which sucks because I want to know what happens now. And hopefully they're back next year. It might be 2 years because the BBC, the way they do stuff, you never know when they're back for sure. Mint and beer have no business together either. Mint and chocolate work, mint stouts. That's true. And if you look at what the Southern Tier did with their mint, it's actually a pretty good one. And there's some other ones that actually can work out there too. So it's definitely got to be done right. But when you have something like spaghetti in there, I mean, which I guess spaghetti comes from grains, so I mean, I guess it could be a grain you're using with the spaghetti when you think about it. So I guess it's not as far off as what you may think. It's just weird. It's just different. But that's the fun of the creativity of craft beer as well. You never know what's going to come out. But just emptied this crowler, so pour the rest into that as I get ready to go settle in and watch the show. So usually on Sunday nights, watch Walking Dead with the wife, even though I prefer to watch Watchmen right now. I'll watch that tomorrow. And next, beef liver beer. Hello. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, I've seen some weird concoctions out there, so it wouldn't surprise me on some of the things they would actually put into it. Yeah, Hoof Hearted did the French fries for the frosty beer. No boundaries, baby. Yeah, so when I did the one from Hoof Hearted, it was based off the whole French fries and the milkshake concept, and they did use French fries in the fermentation of it. So essentially, I guess you were fermenting potatoes into the beer. The chilada is good, so tomato works okay. Add some basil and you got a spaghetti sauce. I've never actually done a chilada. Seen them many a time. I actually thought about picking up one a couple weeks ago to do a review on it. And just didn't think I had the stomach for it at this point to mess around with it. I just, more recent, the last couple years or so, started to like Bloody Marys a little bit. But I used to not be a big Bloody Mary fan. I kind of just had that type of feel there with that one. But people do seem to like the chiladas. Just curious, what is my favorite style of beer? For me, it's usually Belgian style beer. I like the Belgians. I did the one last night, and it was actually a 2014 Hamel beer that I had in the cellar. And it just shows the quality of that beer. I pulled it out, and it was still just as good as pretty much when I first had it back in 2014. The quality is just so nice from a lot of the Belgian ales. Whether it's a double, a triple, a quad. I'm just huge into a lot of the Belgian ones. I mean, that's kind of the top spot on my bucket list, is to go to Belgium at some point and just go through all the different breweries over there and that I can get to and check out the various ones. After that, I get more into some of the IPAs and stouts. This IPA is actually the first IPA I probably had like in 3 or 4 weeks maybe. I've mainly just been drinking a lot of stouts, drinking some porters. I've been drinking some of the Belgian ales, and then a few sours here and there from Gozes and Berlin, or some of the different ones along those lines. But I kind of got burned out on IPA for a while, so I haven't even looked to buy IPAs in the last few weeks when I go to get beer. It's just, I feel like there's too much IPA out there right now. It's kind of like wanted to give my palate a little bit of a break from it. I always like a good brown ale when you can find them. And always dig a nice red ale too. Get a little bit of that caramel type feel to it. I don't know why this is the money sign. Maybe it's money. Red ales are money if you get them. But that's all that I pretty much got here. And what about you, Beer Hound? What's your favorite style? Or anybody else, what's your favorite style of beer too? Because you're drinking an IPA now, right? So, but that's because it was a special pickup. It was a special release for that IPA. So I had to go now to get it, or I wouldn't have been able to get it. But it's a good IPA to pick up. The Milkshake IPAs have definitely found a nice place here in the beer world for sure. Especially for your people that maybe weren't as much of a beer drinker previously. The taste that you get out of this is pretty much like drinking juice or something. It's so smooth that people can actually enjoy these that weren't really beer drinkers as much before. So, yeah, getting burned on IPA. Starts tasting the same after a while. I love me a good Belgian. Parade is good. I'm getting into the stouts lately because I'm too getting burned on. Yeah, so the IPAs at a certain point, for me, they started to burn me out a little bit. I mean, it's not like if I had one, I was like, oh, I'm not going to finish it or pour it out or anything. It's just, I want other stuff besides that. Like, I want to get like a nice Rauch beer, or get a nice Hefeweizen, or get, you know, some of the other styles that are out there. If you look at a style chart of beer, there's 100 plus styles that are out there. It's like, I want to try the different things, not just get locked into the IPAs. And Todd's an equal opportunist. Todd doesn't pass on beer, so if it's a beer, Todd will drink it. and I'll drink it too for the most part, but it's like having a choice. IPAs are kind of something I just don't seek as much now. Jesse says he's been digging the sours lately. I think I'm liking them more than IPAs than the IPAs lately. Yeah, so if you try the different styles, you know, here in America and stuff, like we get a lot more of the Gozes and the Berliner Weisses that are out there, but you get a nice Brewing from overseas that you can find in some of the stores that get the imports. Great sour style. Get a great lambic, great sour style. So, you know, you experiment with the different things that are out there. What do I think about sour? I enjoy sours. I like the tartness of some of them. There's a line you have to walk, right? So some can be overly tart, and some can be that nice tart on the front, but then it has a nice crisp finish on the back end that wraps it up very nicely. So for the most part, I enjoy a lot of them, but some can be a little bit too acidic or astringent at points. But when they're done right, I mean, I enjoy them for the most part. More stouts and IPAs and anything barrel aged. Yeah, but I've had IPAs barrel aged, and I wonder, like, why you barrel age in an IPA? Like, this style doesn't really need to be a barrel age, in my opinion. It's kind of like everything doesn't have to be barrel aged. So I think when you barrel age, like something like a stout, something like a porter, those kind of things tend to run together a little bit more. If you barrel age, even some of the sours, you might be able to pull some stuff out of it. I don't know about the IPAs. I've always questioned that when they do some of the IPAs. And one thing, speaking of IPAs, I've seen die down has been the brute IPAs. I don't see as many of the brute IPAs out there now, and I kind of think that some of the brewers are realizing some of the people just couldn't really take a hold of them as much as they came out. Like, that's one of those beers that has a defined taste to it. I mean, one, you got to be like I think a champagne drinker to really enjoy some of them because of how they tie together. But for some people, that extra dryness, it was just a little too much. That I think it was kind of like a unique type beer to have, but too many people were trying to race out there, and they put too many of them out that people were kind of starting to pass on them. Beer Hound says, I wish I could enjoy sours, but my glands explode and I just freak out. Well, yeah, so I mean, one of the things that one of our breweries does here, Urban Artifact, and they're becoming largely known more across the country now because they're like just focused on sour and wild ales. They actually, at their brewery, they give you like this liquid. I don't know what that exactly it is. It's basically a cutting agent. So when you get a sour beer, if it's too sour, you spray this into it and it tempers the sour down to your actual taste, which is pretty cool because then people are able to find the levels that they like in that beer. And you cut out the extra acidity. Tequila aged IPAs, I've had a couple of those that are pretty good. I've had the gin IPAs are pretty good. The brandy IPAs are really good. Oh, sorry, not IPAs. I'm just thinking of brand. I'm thinking of beers, not saying IPA, but I'm thinking of brandy beers that were at barrel, and the other ones tequila barreled and gin barreled. As an IPA, I think the only ones I've had that have been IPA barreled have been kind of the whiskey ones. So the other ones with IPAs may work out a little bit better then. And I'm not saying it can't work. It's just that few that I had, I wondered, like, why did you even do this to this beer? Like, you didn't really need to add anything extra to it, but it's all preference, I guess. Flanders is another good style sour. I enjoy that as well. So, that's another beer that comes out here really from like overseas that kind of came up with that style, of course. So that's the fun thing about this experiment with different things. You find all these different ones. For instance, the difference between like a Berliner and a Goza is really that Goza has that, in a lot of cases, that sea salt or that salinity in it that kind of gives that nice back end feel to the beer that really cuts into some of that tartness versus something like a Berliner where it may not have that on that end. A lot of the Berliners I get, I feel like they're like kind of like the now and later type candies in that regard. So, all right, Todd, have a good one, brother. I'll catch up with you soon. I'm about to run, as a matter of fact, as well because it's 8:56 here in the East, and I gotta go down and get situated to watch The Walking Dead. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. Great having you on board. Hopefully you guys like it. Hit that thumbs up if you do, of course. And make sure you check out everybody's channel. Check out Beer Hound and all the guys here, Bumpy. Hit those dots next to their names so you can check out their channels. A lot of good beer knowledge and a lot of good people here that have the beer stuff going on. So definitely appreciate everybody. And everybody have a great Sunday night and hopefully a good start to the week tomorrow. And I will look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Keep drinking those craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better come